Welcome to episode 13 of the No Scrubs podcast. I'm your host Lewis, and with me today, a man who just took a big fucking rip of a vape. Stephen, how you going?
I'm good. Don't let the camera angles deceive you. I actually finally, at the age of 33, I went through a growth spurt. And
he's lying.
I'm taller. I worked
this
hard.
man may be 5'9", but he's feeling 9'5" right now.
No, yeah, I was about to say, it's like 5'9". I feel like overnight I gained a half. My shoes aren't even on.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's right, you are actually 5'9" with shoes on.
Yeah.
There might be 5'8", but let's, you know, but you've got the heart of a 6 foot. You know?
No, I had the temperament of a little man.
You're alright, mate. So I'm just going to get straight into it, man. There's a story to me that's really funny.
Yeah.
And it's about a Tekken player. So I'm going to butcher his name. It's like Arslan Ash, who's a Pakistani Tekken player, and has been a dominant force in Tekken in the last kind of while. It's been really, really cool to see because it's a pretty underrepresented region in esports in general, and he's been kicking ass, and now they're like, I got to full screen that because that page did not like being put to the side. So the IESF, which is the International Esports Federation, have released a statement about him, and they've put a sanction on him for 2 years. So I don't know what that means. I'm actually trying to find out, is he banned or not? And there's very, very little that tells me if he's banned or not. So according to the International Esports Federation, that the steroids that he was taking are a banned substance. So he's been taking steroids, and then calling for like a 2-year kind of ban on him. I don't know. I feel like most of these tournaments have their own rules and everything, so they might just be like, nah, fuck it. Like, it's different because like the only thing that you do get benefits from, and it is a benefit. So I was reading some comments, and someone said the reaction time for people on steroids is significantly faster than someone who's not. But it's not like when Counter-Strike players back in the day all used to... I say all, but not all, clearly. It's a lot of them used to pop Adderall. And Adderall, I just like to think of as the fucking lock-in drug. And that, I think, will give you a massive advantage in anything, right? Especially in something like Counter-Strike. The steroids, I'm like, yeah, okay, you get faster reaction time, that is an advantage. But I'm like, I don't know if this is a bannable offense, you know? It's like... And he was like, oh, I didn't know this was a banned substance. Because who the fuck would know this was a banned substance in esports, eh? Like, I don't know, man. What do you think?
Well, the mental image I have is just like some absolutely juiced Pakistani guy just going in, just like absolutely like jacked to the gills. And the organizer's like, we're going to need you to piss in this cup. And he's just like, why?
He's not even a big guy, but that's the thing about steroids. Like, if you're lifting a lot of weights and you're taking steroids, like, yeah, you're going to bulk up more. But like talking to a friend of ours at a house party like a few weekends ago, he used to enter karate tournaments, and he's fought 2 people in local Christchurch karate tournaments who have on steroids at the time. You're like, local amateur karate tournaments, people are taking steroids, and he said you couldn't tell by looking at them, but as like Chael Sonnen, the GOAT, the bad man himself, said about fighting John Jones, and it was, as soon as he got punched by him, he's like, I know your secret because I have the same secret. He was on steroids fighting a guy on steroids, and he could tell immediately, right? Our friend did not take steroids, but he was like, you get hit by someone on steroids and there's like nothing else like it, right? Very different, I think, though, in esports versus mixed martial arts. you know?
Like, because what I was going to ask, like, before the podcast, like, when you said it, I was just like, does it affect your reaction times or anything? But then I'm also thinking, it's like, maybe they had suspicions that it was on gear, because when he lost, or he loses a match, just the way he just smashes his, like, fight stick is like, that's abnormal.
Yeah, nothing like that from him, eh? And he's like a pretty humble winner, and he's never been super bad when he loses, so he's not like he's roid raging or anything like that. It's just, I don't think anyone saw this coming. So, and how have they pinged him now for steroid use in 2022? Are they holding on to a cup of piss for 3 years or something? Like, what the fuck?
I think...
Yeah, I'm in the camp of, look, hey, now he knows, yes, he's won a bunch of shit in that time, but just be like, look, you can't take steroids if you want to compete anymore. And then he either decides, okay, I'm going to keep taking them, and then he can't compete, or he doesn't take them. Like, that's it. It's different if it was like an obscene advantage. He had, it is an advantage, but it's not crazy. I don't think. I've never taken steroids, so I couldn't tell you. Maybe I'll start taking steroids and pick Tekken up again and see if I'm better than I was.
No, I think what I need to aspire to be is I want to enter like a local, like, Christchurch based Street Fighter 6 tournament and get banned because I'm on growth hormones. Just start taking growth hormones so I can get kicked out of locals.
But HGH, mate, good for you.
And it's just like, how can you prove that I'm on growth hormones? Just like, well, you registered like 3 weeks ago and you were 5'9", and you're now 9'5", and you have a you have a beard on your back. I can see it through your tank top.
Imagine that's how growth hormone works. You take it for 3 weeks and then you grow I guess in this case 4 feet. You know.
No, it's just like
kind of wild.
It's just like, we can tell you've been on growth hormones. It's like, you're really tall, but you're also in crutches. Your body cannot handle the length. It's like, just shut up and let me play my game.
Yeah, it's only your legs that grew. Just walking around on these fucking twigs.
Just a little thing to add. I recently did some sets with of Street Fighter 6 with a workmate and his mate, who was like, he's places really well in like Strive tournaments, and he was just like, hey, me and my friend want to me and my friend are keen to do some sets on Discord if you want. And I was of 6, and I was like, yeah, man. Oh, is your mate the guy who mains Potemkin in Strive? And he's like, yeah, that's the one. I was like, sorry, man, I'm busy, like, all week. Can't, sorry. But then we had some rounds, and I just came to the conclusion. It was like, I've been trying out this new character. I've been trying out Elena. Trying out some tech. And it's like, start getting my ass handed to me. It's like, going back to Luke, I guess, and then I start winning.
Yeah.
Why try new things, honestly?
I feel like as well, someone who's that good trying out a new character is going to be rough. Because you just, when you're playing a comfortable character, you just start falling back to the things you know really well with that character. But when you don't know the character, you're like, what do I fucking fall back to? What's my primal state?
Almost feeling like Charlie from Always Sunny with like the cork board.
Oh yeah.
But in my
Pepe
mind,
Sylvia.
It's just like flowchart routines.
Yeah. That's actually kind of, I never thought about it like flowcharts, but it absolutely is like flowchart. The way I play Tekken is, it's a character I know. I'm like, these are the kind of things. If they do this, then I do this. If they do this, I do this. If this isn't working, try this. Like, it is actually kind of flowchart, which I think works pretty well, to be honest.
The problem with me when like I start getting into a fighting game and I get into the groove of a character, it's like, cool, I'm going to do this flowchart, which is the winning flowchart. It's like how to stay on the offense and stuff. But then someone breaks my chain. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to pivot, eh? That's something I talked to a mate about recently. Where these guys, two out of three of the guys I was out for dinner with play Magic the Gathering, and we're talking about a guy in the friend group who, because I don't play either, but I played a heap of card games. I know I've dabbled a little Magic, but not heaps, not compared to these guys. But when I talked to their friend about playing card games, I'm like, man, how many turns this guy can see ahead, and how well he can look at the game, and when the conditions change, instantly know what his new win condition is. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I'm okay at that, but not to his level. Sometimes I'll fixate too much on this is my win condition, but the game's changed so much that that's no longer the most likely win condition.
Survive and adapt.
Yeah. And it's just how much, like, this guy is just amazing at that. And they kind of hate playing with him because he is too good, but also he's a bit of a cunt. But he is very, very clever at any of these types of things.
He's got that winner mindset.
Yeah. Some call it autism, but some call it the winner's mindset. It's
winners don't make friends.
Exactly. That could also be the autism, but
they make victories.
No, he's a good dude. He's just
married to the game.
He was also the type of person that he said, if I'm in an argument with someone and I realise halfway through that I'm wrong, I'll still keep arguing on my point because I want to win. And I'm like, oh man,
you're the worst.
Don't do that, man. It's not about winning at that point. You're like, oh yeah, I think you're right. You've taught me a valuable lesson.
Ah, yes, the Vivance debate strategy.
Yeah, that's it. It's what I think as well. You see all these like debates. Though I know this is on brand. Well, look, we're off topic, but that's what I hate about current debates. It's just every single debate that happens, the people on your side of the argument, you think your side wins. Like, so nobody wins a debate because it's like, whether it's politics or something else, like, it's Ben Shapiro versus Destiny as an example, a left-wing person and a right-wing person, and then all the comments at the end from all the right-wing people are like, oh, he smoked him, and then the left-wing people are like, no, this Destiny smoked him, and then you're like, so who actually won? There's no objectivity to it anymore.
It's like popularity.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to bring that into politics.
No.
But that was just kind of, people are. I feel like what you should do is when you're in good faith talking to someone and they actually raise a good point, you're like, oh, well, I didn't think about that. You're right. But they'll never do it because you can't concede.
It's just like the ideal of an interaction or an outcome of a debate is opponent, I have a good point. The other person, you make a good point.
Yeah. Like our homie Scriptlet, him and I have discussions all the time on things that we disagree on, and often by the end of it, we both start seeing things a little differently. We see things from the other person's perspective, and that's kind of how it should be.
Yeah, because I think that's the problem with when you're having a debate, is it's like I'm not trying to change this person's mind. I'm trying to win.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. It's too much of people trying to win instead of actually argue your point to, in good faith.
I kind of feel like we should have like little segments in the podcast where it's like one is like off topic, and then somewhere after like a big cluster of stuff on the dock is like talk about Dragon Ball GT again.
Welcome to the Grand Tour.
Grand Tour.
Could you imagine trying to make timestamps for this show? It'd be a fucking nightmare. You'd be like, subject, off topic, 10 minutes. Subject, off topic, 7 minutes. Subject.
Welcome to the Grand Tour. Hey, GT had some ideas. Not all of them were good. But Baby Saga, great.
Yeah. I liked it a lot, to be honest. Underrated.
Yes.
I would sooner watch GT over Dragon Ball. And I know that most people would disagree, but I don't give a fuck.
Give Daima a blat.
I should at some point. I still need to give Super a go, but I was just like, oh man, so much.
I remember when me and shout out mate Peter, when work was real
Right.
quiet, we'd watch episodes of Super on his phone, just in the office.
Hell yeah. Dude, I've seen the Super movies, though. I've seen all the movies. That's something. That counts.
They're so good.
The movies are fucking excellent, to be honest.
Broly is like a 10.
It
That's
is.
a 10.
I remember the year that it came out, I was like, this might be the best movie I've seen all year. I don't even watch almost any anime at all anymore, and I was like, this fucking rules.
I remember when I saw it, like, at the end of the movie, people clapped, and I was just like... I'm pretty sure I put a... Back when I had Facebook, I put a Facebook post. I was like, these fucking nerds clapping to an anime movie. The state of it. It was worth... If you were going to clap to an anime movie, it'd be that one.
Yeah, like, that might be the only one, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, you love when I was going to do one of those seamless transitions again, but I've kind of fucked it up now. It's like, so Marathon's been delayed indefinitely.
So the PS5 is increasing in price.
So, to be honest, kind of saw this coming. Marathon, people are pretty pissed off with Bungie with this art theft stuff as well, and the game, people wanted a little bit more, and people like Arc Raiders is going to fucking eat Bungie's lunch. So, yeah, that was supposed to come out later this year, and now they've delayed it. They say indefinitely, but it'll probably be next year. I think this will give them time at least to hopefully get their shit together, but who knows? I feel like there's now less hype than ever for the game. So I guess they wait a year and hope people forget about the controversy and put the game out and see how it goes.
I guess it's good. It's good, like, sort of getting ahead of it, saying it's being, like, delayed indefinitely, because, you know, that could mean nothing gets done. Like, they don't release any updates or anything for, like, a year or two. And then who knows? They could either go 3 routes of silently cancelling it, which is dumb, making a statement, or just out of nowhere release it, or do like a hey, it'd be cool if they did a hey, game is like 80% done. Here's an update. Not do what they're doing with my favorite JRPG franchise, Dragon Quest, where the guy, like the main guy behind it, I think it was like a couple of months ago, he was just like, hey, I know this was announced, the game was announced several years ago, it's still going ahead, can't share anything, but it's not cancelled. So just letting you know, it's happening. Can't talk about it though.
I kind of get as well that sometimes it's like, here's a non-update update, but at the same time, when you've been left in the dark for so long, that's like, okay, at least it is going ahead. At least you've said something, you know, there is, okay, well, it's happening.
They should coin a phrase for it. It's called like a nupdate.
We shouldn't call it that. Moving on. So I'm on the fence about Marathon, to be honest. I don't know yet. I've enjoyed one extraction shooter I've played so far, which is Hunt Showdown, but the older I get, the less I'm interested in these types of games. If there was like just a PvE mode, I'm probably more interested. Yeah. I guess it's just me being an antisocial fuck.
No, I think it's because, you know, them youngins, like, there's a little bit of where our reaction time is probably slowing down, like, not lacking.
It has. Mine definitely has, for sure. I've noticed it. I've noticed it even, like, I'm 32, right? And my reactions are not what they were when I was 28. Like, it's not the same. It's not like it's horrific, but if I was playing shooters, like if I was playing Apex Legends all the way through, I think my reactions would still be decent, but I've been playing shooters, and then when I go pick up a shooter now, my reactions are crap.
That, and also it's just like, I don't know. I guess the older you get, it's like there's just less of a desire to get sweaty with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't have I don't have much desire to just play any game competitively anymore.
I want to play a game so much, know its ins and outs so much that I hate it, but I play it because I'm pushing myself through it.
Yeah, I used to do that sometimes, and you just push yourself to it, and then you burn yourself out in a game, and then you don't want to touch it again.
Yeah.
So, EA expects 100 million Battlefield players in Battlefield 6. Did you like that one? Was that smooth? Was that good?
Was be smooth if you did it like 2 seconds earlier, but apart from that, that was immaculate.
I had to leave that slight pause though.
Yeah.
Had to leave a little suspense. Yeah, dude. 100 million players in Battlefield 6? No, I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. Like, you're way too fucking hopeful. Like you. What do you think? Are you going to try to Fortnite it? Is it going to be free to play and you're going to just update all the fucking time? Probably not.
Here comes a new challenger. It's another battle royale.
Yeah, like I don't see this happening. I think Battlefield 6 will be lucky to sell 10 million copies. And I mean, that's a lot of copies, but
well, what do you think's got more of a household name? Battlefield or Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, 100%. Every year everyone's like, Call of Duty sucks. I fucking hate Call of Duty. And then it sells 30 million copies and you're like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm biased because I prefer Call of Duty. I actually, back in the day, I was originally a Battlefield player. I played from... I was going to say I played from 1942. Battlefield 1942. I was not around in the 40s. I was not around in in World War II. I'm not that fucking old.
I don't even think any of our folks were around in the 1940s.
Shit, no.
Fuck no.
Grandparents? Different story.
Yeah.
But... yeah, it's
very ambitious.
Like I say, I'm biased, but I used to play a lot of 1942 and a lot of Battlefield 2 back in the day, and I loved them. And then when COD 4 came out, and I was playing a lot of that, I'm like, yeah, this fucking rules. And then Black Ops 1, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a Call of Duty man now. Man, I was in high school. I was a boy, but I was playing Battlefield 2 at a similar time, but once I played Black Ops, that was it.
Because you dabbled the latest one, right? That's on Game Pass.
COD?
Yeah.
Yeah, I dabbled with a Black Ops 6. And I didn't play any campaign, even though I heard it was good. I played probably like 80, maybe more, maybe 90% zombies with the boys. And then I played a little bit of multiplayer, which I thought was good as well. When you get... I know everybody hates on Call of Duty, but I feel like they've actually got pretty good map design. And the gunplay and the movement always feels good. So you get in there and you're like, oh yeah, this feels fucking smooth. This is nice. Battlefield's slower and more realistic, and if you're the type of person that likes that, then that's great. But I just play Battlefield and I'm like, you die, you come back, and then you got to trek all the way across the map. Everyone's taking all the vehicles, and you're like, I guess I'm running, and you're just like running for like 3 minutes, seeing no one. I'm like, it's not as interesting to me anymore, but Call of Duty is definitely more of like an ADHD fucking type of game. So we will see. I don't think that the general consensus is that Battlefield hasn't been good, hasn't been truly great since Battlefield 3. Some people say Battlefield 4, but a lot of people will say Battlefield 3. It came out a long time ago. So EA being like, yeah, hey, oh, dude, I can't even remember the name of the studio. Hey, team, I can't remember the name of. DICE. Hey, DICE, you're going to have 100 million players. And they're like, what the fuck? You mean across all of our games of all time? No, in this one. Putting a lot of pressure on your team.
Yeah, just one of the poor guys working there is just like, in real time, his hair's just greying. He's like, it's just like, neat.
Every time you turn back around, his hairline's receded a little bit. He's just fucking...
So it's like an invisible lawnmower. It's just going...
He's got the Vegeta Widow's Peak going on.
Vegeta!
Look at that, mate, bringing up Dragon Ball again. Look at us. I don't think it's going to happen.
In GT.
And they're like, it breaks the law. And there's something with his hair or his mustache, and then you get Nap at him. I don't know. There's some stuff like that people didn't like, because the Saiyan's hair is supposed to be so hard or something that you can't actually shave it off.
Damn, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose it when you find out in Super there's a scene where Goku and Vegeta have beards.
I'm not gonna lose it. Some fucking nerd, some law nerd will get upset.
Yeah. Some power scaler.
Yeah.
The worst.
The scaling doesn't actually make sense, because in the Saiyan saga, the power level's over 9,000, but then it goes Super Saiyan, they say it's 1,000,000. It just doesn't make any sense.
Actually, if we're going off the Akira Toriyama's original work, the manga, it's actually 8,000. It's over 8,000.
Who asked?
Yeah. Moving on.
So Microsoft, they're cutting roughly 9,000 jobs. So they're not all Xbox jobs, but they're cutting a bunch of Xbox jobs as well. So through Xbox, they've cancelled that Perfect Dark game that was done by the Initiative. Their studio had launched in 2017 and released nothing. This was supposed to be a quadruple A game, and it's shit, man, because that game looked really good. So that game's been in development for a long time, and everything they showed off and those last trailers looked awesome. And it's cancelled. You're like, why not? It must be close. You should just put it out, surely, right?
I get that confused with what is it? A game where for the longest time we only got a trailer. I want to say it's Beyond Good and Evil 2. Oh
yeah, hey, it's Ubisoft. You better watch out, Ubisoft. I'll be talking shit. I'll be talking shit if you fucking... I don't think I've got any other Ubisoft stuff on there, so we don't.
No strays, just deliberate shots.
it's all calculated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think that game has now passed Duke Nukem Forever in terms of, development hell cycle.
But at least, for better or for worse, Duke Nukem Forever got released. It was very dated. The only person I knew who actually bought it was my brother. And he was just like, it's fine.
Yeah. I thought that people shat on it almost too much, because when I saw it, I was like, this game looks fine. I think people had... I can't believe people had such high standards for Duke Nukem.
I think it's just because of how long it had been in development hell and the way that shooters have evolved since then. When they played it, they were like, what the fuck? I was expecting a fantastic, heavy metal score. I was expecting a realistic bullet drop-off. I was expecting a pocket pussy to go with it. This game sucks!
They should have modelled off Duke Nukem's asshole. That's what we really wanted. Have you heard there's, rumours of, a Duke Nukem TV show or a Duke Nukem movie to come out?
Is that the one done by the dude who did Devil May Cry?
Oh,
the Devil May Cry show? Yeah.
I fucking hope not.
Shankar or something?
Yeah, fuck that guy. Dude, he's like, I'm going to do another adaptation and completely butcher the source material. Fuck you.
He's been beefing with, Apogee. He's basically like, yep. He's just like, I'm gonna have my vision, and this is going to be canon. And he kept on referring to Apogee as Apache, and someone who replied to it was like, the studio's called Apogee, and he's like, well, Apache sounds better, so I'm calling it that. And I don't know, dude, unless the guy's playing like a character, he comes across as such an insufferable narcissistic prick.
He does, eh? Like, I was gonna say I hope it's a character, but then that's also a tall thing to do.
I'm pretty sure he is gonna be doing an adaptation of Duck Nukem.
But yeah, so I talked about it with a guy at work, and he was like, "We're like a Duke Nukem movie or something in the works," and I was like, "Oh nah, I'm not really interested." He's like, "Hear me out. What if John Cena plays Duke Nukem?" I'm like, "Fucking reel me back in, mate. Fucking reel me back in." That would probably be the only thing that would do it for me. If it was live action, if they got John Cena to be Duke Nukem, I actually think I'm like, okay, this is good. And Duke Nukem, the reason especially it wouldn't work in current day is that the climate has changed a lot since Duke Nukem came out. His whole thing is like fucking babes.
Yeah.
And people be so upset because he's a misogynist. It's just like that's his character. But I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's it's a dated character. That's fine. Like whatever. You view it through that lens of it's not supposed to be taken seriously, but everybody's so upset about everything, and it just I don't think would work. But John Cena could pull it off. Unless
what they did, they sort of leaned into like the 90s sort of like sleaziness, but he's stuck in his ways. Well, in the set universe of like the show or the movie, like everyone has progressed onwards. And it's just like I'm here to chew bubble gum and fuck babes. It's like we call them women.
I'm here to fornicate with women. That's better. That's better.
Better.
Yeah, like maybe like it was like a Johnny Bravo like thing where all the women are like you're insufferable. Like maybe, but
I think that was like part of the charm of Johnny Bravo is he was a Jim Bro misogynist, but like nobody was about his shtick.
So he loved his mum.
Yeah,
a good son.
Really good, and he loved his mum's favourite meal, which is weenie loaf.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I bet.
We know. Yeah,
I bet you fucking love some weenie loaf, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Especially when your mum makes it.
Yeah.
Bitch. Yeah, fucking bitch. What?
Yeah, that bitch makes a good weenie loaf. What are you on about?
I don't know what the hell it is. I'm sorry.
Well, you called my mum a bitch.
Hey, no, I didn't. I called you a bitch, okay?
Yeah.
Your mum, I'm sure she's a lovely woman.
Yeah, she's alright.
For a bitch. Alright.
Hey. She's a good bitch.
And then she comes into the room. What the fuck are you saying about me, Stephen? Just fucking.
In this day and age, we call them mothers.
Oh, yeah,
I love my mum.
Hey, I know you do, mate.
I love your mum.
Thank you. Remember that Thai green curry that time she made?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's when I knew. It's when I found love for someone else's mum.
They would just bring this up every now and again. It's like, and I completely forgot. It's like, yeah, no, I bet your mum. She made us that Thai green curry that time. I'm like, I don't remember this at all, but it's come back to me over the years.
Yeah, Thai green curry, Rayman Legends, or Legends. One of the 2D games.
One of the good ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they should have been closed down, which is
Ubisoft.
sad. They have also cancelled Everwild, which is a new Rare game. Which, man, Xbox, you got to let Rare cook, because when you finally let them cook, you got Sea of Thieves, and that game's been going on for fucking years. So just stop fucking with Rare and just let them cook, all right? Oh,
yeah.
So on Twitter, Mr. Matty Plays had posted, he was like an Xbox, so this guy has an Xbox podcast. He's a fan of Xbox, right? So it's not him just shitting on them. But so he posted 2024 till now, and it was the Initiative closed and Perfect Dark cancelled, Everwild cancelled, New ZeniMax Online Studios IP cancelled. That's the studio that does Elder Scrolls Online. 50% of Turn 10 gone, so it's a studio. 10% of King gone. Makes Candy Crush, but also like Call of Duty Mobile. There's been layoffs at Raven Studios. Arcane Austin was shut down. They shut down Tango Gameworks, and then thankfully they managed to get resurrected, but not through Xbox. Alpha Dog Games closed down. Roundhouse Studios closed. Blizzard's Odyssey cancelled. Like,
was Tango the ones that did Hi-Fi Rush?
Yep, and Evil Within. So they are fucking up. And as much as we talked about last night on stream, actually, when Stephen wasn't there, but I must say, current day, I actually do like the Xbox ecosystem more than the PlayStation ecosystem. PlayStation, if you were to just have a PC and one other, you're better to have a PS5 and a PC because you can play all the Xbox stuff on PC, right? But I like the ecosystem because they're giving players so much freedom. And I know that people didn't like that this is an Xbox like campaign that they've got going on, but I like it a lot. I actually think it's really good. It's like, play our games anywhere. You can play it on this handheld. You can play the Xbox games here. You can play it on the console. You can play it on your PC. Hell, you can play some of these on fucking PlayStation. Now, it's like, you know, their games are going everywhere. There's a bunch of ways, like, to play games in or even out of their ecosystem now on PlayStation, and probably some to come to Switch too. But I like the ecosystem a lot, but they keep just making these other fuck-ups that are just so, like, every time they do this shit, they close down all these studios and stuff like this, and then, look, I don't know if the higher-ups are getting raises, but it just feels like none of their leadership ever gets demoted or gets fired or anything like that. It's always just the people in the studios and everything. It's all just the fucking, it's just the, you know, the plebs. Oh, get rid of the fucking plebs. And there's no accountability for any of these higher ups that are clearly making poor decisions. And it fucks me off because there's got to be something. Who does the buck stop with? Like, apparently no one. Apparently it's all the studio's faults and everything because they acquired too many teams and can't afford to run all of them. Oh, it must be the studio's fault. Nah, they're just mismanaging all of this shit, and it's really fucking disappointing. Because what's next to go? They're going to cancel Fable, which I've been looking forward to for fucking years. Are they going to close down that team? That also makes the Forza Horizon games. Like, the fuck.
It kind of reminds me of like back when I was a big wrestling fan. Is how like certain like promotions, like say WWE, they will like gobble up all these high on the radar indie wrestlers just so they can't compete other places. Like, don't do fuck all with them, but it's just like, yeah, you guys have made a name for yourself on the indies. We want you, so no one else can have you.
Yeah. They want someone else playing with their toys. I mean, actually, not quite, because they want everyone playing with their toys because they put their games everywhere, but they don't want anyone else owning those studios. They want them to be under their umbrella, and then they close them down. Yeah. It's interesting because Microsoft and Xbox, they've got a very like pro-consumer platform with the way that get your game anywhere, and they're wanting to put Steam on their next console, which who knows how that benefits them because they're not going to make any money on games that are sold on Steam. But, you know, so they're doing all these
They've got their ROG coming out.
Yeah, they're doing all these pro-consumer moves, but they're like really anti-competitive to their in the market. Like, they make all these anti-competitive moves, and then but they're somehow also pro-consumer. It's like a weird mix. But yeah, the ROG Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X. Which, you know, in hindsight, those names are too long.
I was about to say that name needs workshopping. ROG Box.
ROG Box. There we go. Nailed it.
Yeah.
But should
Or
be
X-Rog.
X-Roll kind of works. It's also the same amount of letters as Xbox. So. There was talks of the next console being called Xbox Prime, and I was like, I don't hate it.
No.
And then our mate DT said that it was too similar to like Amazon Prime. Maybe they don't want to be associated with Amazon, or Amazon doesn't want to be associated with them. And then I said, well, do you think maybe the rainforest doesn't want to be associated with Jeff Bezos' big fucking bald head?
And his, where he... I'm absolutely butchering this, but like renting out a country for his wedding.
Yeah, dude, as much I know as well with that stuff, all the locals and stuff get pissed off, but how much of a boost to your local economy is that? That's fucking crazy. Like, yeah, I get it, and you're like, who's this guy coming in here? He doesn't live here. He's not a citizen. Here's $500 million. I'll be like, right this way. You know, like, it'd be massive for the local economy.
Just a little like off the topic thought. Like, if I was like Bezos levels of bald, I would buy so much fucking dome wax, so I would blind everybody when walking on a sunny day.
Like, don't let your memes be dreams, my friend. You can shave your head and polish that dome up anytime you like.
Nah, I'll try to sell a bald man on some dome wax. It's like, I'm not gonna say it's gonna look good, but it's gonna look.
Dude, we were off on a tangent, and then you went on to a tangent on the tangent. We went on to fucking dome wax from. So yes, Xbox has been fucking up, but I want to see them succeed because PlayStation also needs competition. Because PlayStation will keep putting their games on PC and PlayStation and nowhere else because that's what's best for them. And Xbox putting their games on PlayStation benefits themselves and PlayStation, but that's what they need to do. They need to keep putting you put them. So the game's now being $80 USD, and your people just play it on Game Pass. You know, they spend, I don't know what it is in US a year, but if you say, let's just say it's, I don't know, $120 a year to get get Game Pass for a year. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But then you only have to play two $80 games, and you're like, cool, I'm up money. You know, I was talking to our mate Scriptwood about it last night, and he's someone who I get as well wanting to own the games, but someone like Doom the Dark Ages, right? I played through the whole game. I've got no desire to go back to it. I would have spent here, like New Zealand dollars, I think it was like $120 or $115 or something. I would have spent $120 on it, finished it, and never gone back to it. So I'd rather play that on Game Pass because, like, some games like Helldivers we've gone back to. That's a game that's definitely better to own. And yes, it's not on Game Pass and so on, but as it wouldn't be, it's a PlayStation game. But that's something that we've gone back to over a year after launch, and we're playing it last night. That's great. Elden Ring Night Rain is a game that I'm glad I own because I want to always have to go back to that because I've been playing that for months. It's something like single player, Doom the Dark Ages, cool, I finished it, see you later. I never booted Doom 2016 up again, even though I loved it. I never booted up Doom Eternal after I finished it. Loved it. Great game. But there's just that value. So that's why they also want to sell these games on PlayStation for $80 USD. You get the full, that PlayStation take 30%, but you get 70% of that. And then you have your ecosystem with this value for Game Pass. But I just don't think it's generating enough profit for them.
Bear with me on this thought.
We're in for a... Strap yourself in, boys. We're going for a ride. You
know how our parents, something that was huge was the moon landing? There's like,
it was fake, but no, I believe it happened. I personally believe it happened, right? The flag waving in the wind, no wind on the moon, that bit's weird, but I do believe it happened, okay? Alright, let's hear me out.
I imagine our parents were like, holy shit, it's just like, we've explored space, this is amazing, this is mind-blowing. Do you feel like the millennial equivalent to the moon landing is seeing a PlayStation exclusive title on computer? Thank you. I agree.
No.
No?
I don't think so. Was it moon landing 1969? How old are your parents?
Parents pretty old.
Okay. So I was like, how old are my parents? I'm like, was my mum alive for the moon landing? I mean, I think she was alive for the moon landing, but I'm like, I think she was young. I think she was born in the 60s. Yeah, I don't think that, regardless, it's not the equivalent of that, but what was the first, they've kind of dabbled with it a little bit here and there. I mean, Helldivers has sold more copies on PC than PlayStation. So they'll be fucking glad they brought that one day one to PC. But the thing is, the PC market, it doesn't hurt their sales to bring games to PC, like really. Like maybe a very small amount. I'll play a game on, if it's only on PlayStation, then yeah, sure, I'll get it on PlayStation. But someone like you who doesn't own a PS5, they don't bring it to PC, then you're not going to play it.
Well, I also like the fact...
Script as well, and DT. You guys are not going to play it if it's not on PC.
I also like the fact that it's like Sony don't view PC as like a threat or direct competition, because Street Fighter V only happened because Sony funded it and said, we'll make this game. It's like, we'll fund this game, but it's got to be a PS4 exclusive. And then it's just like, and that's the thing, exclusive to PS5. It's like, and PC.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And they're just like, well, it's got to sell more copies. We're going to make our money back sooner. And yeah, it's crazy that I remember there was might have been Evo Japan with 1 year with Tekken 7, and Tekken 7 just could run better on a PC, and it was 7 out of 8. So Japanese culture is very much like more console gaming than PC gaming, and it was 7 out of 8 of this top 8 of Evo Japan that year were playing on PC.
That's
that was how much it had changed, because it ran better. You could have less latency in your controls as well. So 7 out of 8 of the top 8 playing on PC. And yeah, if it was like a country like America, you're like, oh well, yeah, PC gaming's bigger over there. But Japan adopted it because they were like, this is just better for fighting games.
Speaking of like times changing, like with fighting games, one of the guys I was doing a set with in Street Fighter 6. I was just like, oh, so it's like, do you have a fight stick? He's like, yeah, man. And he's just like, I was like, all right, what's your opinion on leverless? It's like, I use leverless. He's like, I can't go back. It's just so good. And I was like, and the use in leverless, especially for like Street Fighter 6, has gone up quite a fair bit.
Yeah, a lot of people like it, eh? I haven't tried one. I actually considered buying one at one stage, but they don't do any. I wanted to just get like an AliExpress one, just get a cheap one, just to take one for a spin to see if I liked it, but I couldn't find any that were actually cheap. Like, you can find cheap AliExpress fight sticks. I've got one somewhere in my garage, and it actually just has little suction cups on the bottom, and you stick it down on your desk.
That's sick!
And yeah, it was like,
play it on the wall.
Was it maybe it was Mayflash? Just want to see. I don't know if mine was a Mayflash actually, but it was some knockoff, and it was actually not bad. But I've got that Dragon Ball Fighters one, that Razor one, that was on a massive sale because people here ain't buying fight sticks, and Razor's so mainstream that people also aren't buying them because the people who know about fight sticks aren't generally buying the Razor one. So I got it for a wicked discount. But I generally do play better still on controller because I've played more. But every now and again, I just like getting out the fight stick and having a jam. We have no fighting games at our arcades anymore. Like if you go to Time Zone, there's no Tekken 8 machine or anything like that. Which is disappointing.
The Rickerton one. The huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
They got rid of the fighting game machines, which is sad, man, because I wanted to play. Last time I was there, I wanted to play Tekken. Wasn't there. I was like, maybe I'll play Street Fighter. Not there. I'm like, oh, dude, what
Sorry,
the fuck?
the best we can do is Mario Kart DX featuring Pacman.
Oh, now we're talking, alright? Shout out to my boy Pacman. We'll be talking more about him in a little bit.
Waka waka.
Waka waka, indeed. Yeah, so Xbox fucking do better. So finally, the PS5 has got more monthly users than the PS4, which is cool. It's taken, 5 years?
Halfway through its life cycle?
More than halfway.
Yeah. Their shelf life is usually like six or so years.
About 7 years.
Yeah.
7 to 8. I think there's probably going to be an 8-year generation. I mean, I think Xbox is going to go first, and they are going to put out a console before Sony. I think it makes sense for them to go first. We've got the most powerful console on the market. Look at us. It's more powerful than the PS5 Pro. Look at that. Woo! I think that would be the play for them. And then obviously a year or something after, the PS6 is going to come out and be better. But I think getting first to market for them is more important. But yeah, so it's good anyway that things are progressing. It just means as well that we're going to get less games being multi-platform with like PS4 and 5, and I think that is good because the games aren't going to be as not going to be as held back. Games are more scalable than they used to be, so it is easier to make a game that could work on both. But the big difference is with the NVMe drives, with the SSDs, they're so much faster. You don't have to do the. I'm not picking on God of War here because it's just the game I remember. But God of War, even in Ragnarok, 'cause it was on both, the segments where your character's like shimmying through rocks and stuff like that, shit like that's in there partly to hide loading screens. So there's just game design will change once everybody's using these really fast drives. It's just a matter of time. So when what?
I understand when Pacman will become relevant in this conversation.
Hey, don't skip ahead. Hey, cut that out. If I could slap you on the hand, mate, I fucking would. So anyway, I think that's a good thing going forwards in terms of development of games. So,
how long do you reckon it will be till the Xbox next console is just a computer?
We're kind of there in a way. It's I mean, with these new Xbox handhelds that are running a cut down version of Windows, and that, you know, there's a very good chance that we do get that going forwards. Maybe they just say we're not doing consoles, we're doing essentially PCs with better interfaces that are consoles. Like the original Xbox, I believe, runs some like really like bespoke version of Windows that in the background. So I think it's possible.
In the realm of possibility.
Because I could see there being only one more generation of Xbox consoles. Not because I think they're going away, but I think it's because they're such a services-based company that it's going to be ROG makes hardware and stuff like that. You know, Asus will put out this handheld that's an Xbox handheld, but it's not actually Microsoft, you know, putting them out. Or you stream games to an app on your TV or whatever, right? That's, I think, where... So Xbox, I think, will be the first one out of the hardware, which will hurt them a lot. And then Sony will be the next one. And Nintendo, who the fuck knows? They'll probably do another 3 generations of consoles after everybody stopped, because that's how Nintendo is. But,
yeah, and I feel... so... with Nintendo is they were definitely like the kings of the handhelds, like back in the day. I think the only thing that could really compete was the PSP. Nobody got a PlayStation Vita, and so with now that they're doing, it's like, oh, our consoles are handheld. I feel like they're gonna stick to doing that. Because it's like, hey, we do gangbusters on our handhelds, but we also have the hardware to compete with like Xbox and PS5. Not like neck to neck compete, but it's just like, dude, this is going to be our thing. I think if their next console that they release, isn't portable, then I feel like that'd be a stylistic step back.
Yeah, because who knows what they're going to do going forwards. Are they going to do a Switch 3? Are they going to do Switch 4? Or are they going to try something else? But it doesn't make sense these days to have, like, here's a separate handheld and a separate console that plays entirely different games like they used to.
Yeah.
Because games also take so much longer to develop that it makes sense being a hybrid. So I think they'll continue to do hybrids. Who knows if they'll end up changing much? Because Nintendo used to. It's funny to look at their consoles and see, for better or for worse, that they would innovate so much. They're like, oh, we did the Wii. It's all these motion controls, and you got a nunchuck, and those separate things, and people are like, this is great. And the Wii U, it's a gamepad with a big old screen in it. People are like, this fucking sucks. The GameCube, and you're like, it's a cube, and the controller's the most hideous thing you've ever seen. Dude, I hear people still say the GameCube controller's the best controller of all time. Right, it's a fucking Fisher-Price toy. It's only good for Smash. That controller is fucking awful. It really is. The layout is dog shit. This dinky little C stick, so you're not running proper twin sticks. Those back, like, triggers are so fucking mushy. You gotta push the cunt in, like, 5 meters to actually get it to engage.
Well,
that controller's rubbish.
Even the Nintendo 64 controller I felt was real gaudy.
That's way worse, to be fair. The GameCube controller is comfortable. Like, it actually is. You know where the hands need to go. It's like, oh, look, it's a controller. Hands go here. Nintendo 64's like hand in the middle. I'm just looking to see, have I got a 64 controller over there? Can't see one. I got one somewhere. It might be in the garage. But, dude.
The Nintendo 64 controller borderline looks like a fucking Star Wars ship.
It does actually, eh? Yeah, and you got horrific stick drift before stick drift was really a thing on that fucking big old nubbin in the middle. That would drift real fucking bad.
And I want to say, I could be wrong, but it wasn't like usual like PlayStation analog sticks. How it's just like, oh, here's a circle. Here's how the analog stick moves in the circle. I'm pretty sure it was like almost like hexagonal, so it was like certain points you would move it into. Yeah,
exactly.
Just going back to why I reckon they would definitely continue to be like, well, as you put it better, as a hybrid, is like, it was interesting when they had the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance, and they did the whole thing of like, hey, there's Game Boy Advance, GameCube integration. Like, I remember with, it was the game Mega Man X Command Mission, where if you got the GameCube version, you could use your Game Boy, hook your Game Boy Advance up to your GameCube and act as like item radar.
Oh yeah.
Or like how I think it might have been Sonic Advance 2. You could eggs. You can like hatch eggs, and you can use like your Game Boy Advance to like raise these raise these eggs, and then you can like transfer them to like the GameCube. Like, nothing groundbreaking or really necessary, but I was like, hey, we've got our flagship console, we've got our flagship handheld. Let's find a way for people to benefit by having both.
It's cool, but it's also a bit of a gimmick as well, eh?
Yeah.
Buy this accessory, and with certain games you can link them together. But I do think it's cool. But yeah, it's Nintendo kind of does love a gimmick, don't they? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And gimmick's got like a negative connotation to it, but they're not all bad. Like, the Switch gimmick was fucking great. Like, yeah, I play mostly handheld with it, but it's nice. Sometimes you're like, fuck, I want to play this on the TV. I played a bit of Mario Kart on the TV. I'm like, this looks great on here. This looks
so
really,
nice they
really
did it
good.
twice.
Yeah. Actually, I should note in here. I'll do my Switch 2 impressions for now that I've had it for a little bit. You're
Here's
gonna
my
get a laugh.
Switch 2 impression.
Oh, he looks just like it. You know what? I'm gonna do my Switch 2 impressions now. It's the Switch 1 bit better.
Hell yeah.
That's actually it. It's like games run better, they look better. It's got a bigger screen. It's just
Most of the games, from what I heard, most of the games for Switch, they will have a Switch 2 update to make them 60 frames.
yeah. Some of them are paid updates. Some of them are not. So it's kind of weird.
What's the difference? Like, what defines that though?
Don't know. I don't know where they draw the line and not. But if you want to get your Breath of the Wild upgrade, you got to pay for it.
Are they only doing that because they're releasing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as Switch 2 games?
That's
like physically?
part of it, but I don't know. I'd have to see as well. Like someone's probably done comparisons of how the Switch 1 version runs on Switch 2, and I'm sure it's probably frame rate and stuff better. But I wonder if it's locked 30 or if it's 60 or what. But yeah, I mean, I'm playing Scarlet and Violet got an update, and you're like, oh well, this game doesn't run like complete dog shit now. The battling as well looks real smooth, like insanely smooth. You're like, am I looking at a different game? Like,
Do you reckon
visuals are still fucking mud, except in battling. Battling always looked good, but visuals overall are still fucking mud. But it actually runs like a proper video game now, which is nice.
Do you reckon you're going to get Legends ZA for Switch 2?
Yep. Yeah, I'll probably day one it, to be honest. I'm probably going to Donkey Kong day one as well.
Oh,
It looks really good. Donkey
I
Kong
know.
looks awesome. They finally
I know.
confirmed as well. It's the Mario Odyssey team, and it's like, yeah, but anyone with eyes could have fucking told you that.
yeah. It's got like, even to like the animation and the color. It's just like, when I heard there's like, it was Mario Odyssey, it's like, that's very obvious. And it's
Yeah,
not a bad
and
thing. I enjoyed Odyssey.
It's great. Yeah, I thought people overhyped Odyssey. I thought it was really good, but people were talking about it like it's a 10 out of 10 game, and I'm like, I really like it, but it's not. It didn't feel like crazy groundbreaking. It's like, it's Mario, but with a new gimmick. You throw the hat on things and you become them, and I'm like, that's really cool, and that's really well done. But it wasn't like going to Mario 64 from like Mario 3, and you're like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. I know there's obviously a far bigger generational jump there from 2D to 3D graphics. It's not a fair comparison, but that's where I'm like, oh yeah, it's, you know, we went from Mario Galaxy to Mario Odyssey, and Mario Galaxy, some people will tell you, is a better series of games, but I still think it's a great game, and I think it's a must-own title on the Switch. I just feel like if you're critical, people think you don't like it, and I'm like, I loved it. I played the whole thing. I enjoyed it, but I think people just overhyped it a little bit.
Did you ever play Sunshine?
Very small amount. I didn't own it. I still don't own a GameCube. It's one of the ones I haven't owned. So I played a little bit on an emulator. I got a CRT because of PlayStation 2.
Oh.
A real man's console, mate. I actually love the GameCube aesthetically. The box itself is awesome, and like, that's so cool. Like,
the iconic,
it's a cube.
The iconic boot up.
Yeah, and the purple as well, bold choice, but looks fucking great.
Yeah.
They did it with the Game Boy Advance as well. Like, it's a great color. They picked became such an iconic color with them. So, but yes,
which they didn't use on any other console.
Yeah. And maybe it's for the best. Who knows?
Purple was a gimmick.
So, purple, the new gimmick. Purple.
Purple. The Switch 3. It's green.
So they've announced that more than half of Helldivers 2 revenues from the microtransactions, which is interesting. So in New Zealand, it's $70 to buy it, right? I think it was a $40 game in the US. But I don't think I've spent any additional money on it because they were pretty generous with like the premium currency. You can just, if you play a bit, you can grind it out. I'm not mad because the way it doesn't feel predatory in the game. It's not. They're not asking for huge amounts of money for it. So I'm like, that's fair. The game's been out a while, and I want to see Arrowhead to have continue to have success. So good on them. I don't love microtransactions. I don't love double dipping, but I think they did it better than most studios have done it. When you played, did you feel much pressure to spend money?
And
Helldivers.
No. Like
you have to go to the store yourself, right? You have to press the key in the menu. It's not. It doesn't just go buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. Like, I very briefly played, not sponsored, Raid Shadow Legends. I gave it a go. Because the game itself, like turn-based combat and stuff, is actually quite fun. But every time you boot the game, you have to hit like a fucking X on like 5 things of them trying to sell you shit. Yes, it's free to play. But you're like, every time you're like, fuck off, you slimy cunts. We're never getting sponsored. But they just go too hard on it.
With Helldivers, no. Because I see you've got different, like, the premium war bonds and stuff like that, but the ones that the tiers that you just unlock, like, gradually, I was just like, these are fine. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I didn't get any FOMO on any of the other war bonds. I was like, no, I'm happy just to grind out this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. Apart from the game itself, didn't spend $1.
Yeah, it's good. It feels sad to say it's like this is a better example of microtransactions in not a premium game because it's not, it's not a $70-$80 USD kind of deal, but it's still better done than most.
Yeah, because I think that's that's how they get you with microtransactions, is the fear of missing out.
Yeah, bit of FOMO.
Yeah. No, you are.
You're a fear of missing out sexual. Is that what you're implying? You're a FOMO sexual. That's how I get my rocks off. If I miss out on something, it really gets me going. Jesus.
We enjoy a misery wank.
I guess it's not Pride Month anymore, Steve. But you could be whatever you want to be any month.
I have a funny story after the blog, after the pod.
After the blod.
After the blod. Yeah, no, I would say it's just like, yeah, it's a funny term. Like, this is like a better use of microtransactions because, like, ideally nobody really wants microtransactions, and it can be a little bit scummy to push.
Ideally, we would live in a world with no microtransactions.
Socialism is when no microtransactions.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So there's an Xbox branded MetaQuest 3 launching. So it's black and green, which I've got the Quest 2, which I don't know if they launched but did another one later, but they're like, our headsets are going to be white now, and I'm like, oh, I don't like how this looks. I'd much prefer a black headset. Black and green looks pretty fucking cool, to be honest.
It's their flagship colours.
Yeah. They work well together. They chose a good green, I think, to be fair. The Xbox green is actually, it's quite nice. They don't use it as much as they used to, but that black and green for like the original Xbox, I almost called it the Xbox One. That's the third console.
Do they have a
Xbox
pattern?
One? That's the third one.
Do you reckon they have a pattern on like that shade of green? Like how Cadbury has a pattern on like that colour purple?
Does Nintendo have a pattern on their purple?
No.
All right, good to know. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Who knows? I don't know. I think the idea of having like a patent on like a color is fucking dumb. But maybe I feel like the only way that holds up is no one else in that particular market can use that color. So for that Cadbury one, it's probably no other chocolate company can use it. But if you're a company that makes, I don't know,
electronics,
audio cables, you can probably use that purple because it's a completely separate market. That's my understanding. I could be completely fucking wrong, but it doesn't make sense to be able to paint it like a fucking colour. Like, you don't own colour. You see a rainbow in the sky, you're like, I'm fucking suing, man. I'm fucking suing. Like, you know, that's my limited understanding of the law. But yeah, so I haven't played around with it too much because the game streaming, unfortunately, we don't have servers in New Zealand. They have servers in Australia, but not here. But I played around with game streaming on my Xbox, and it was average through to New Zealand. But I think it's cool anyway, them doing this, and it's streaming games, so you can stream. So with the headset, you can view just a screen in there, which my boss sometimes does. He watches movies and stuff in his VR headset, and like he's in a cinema in there, and just seeing a big screen and projected in front of him. So you get a experience like you're looking at a fucking big 100-inch screen. He loves doing that. So you could be playing with the game and projecting it there and streaming it straight to your headset. Really, you want to have a Wi-Fi 6 router for that kind of carry on. But yeah, I think it's cool. I love the idea of game streaming more than I love it in practice so far. But if we got servers in New Zealand, I would actually give it a proper go. But I know. Look, it's not the worst ping, but it's 50 ping to the servers in Australia, and I'm like, well, why would I stream the game when I could play it on my own PC and not have to deal with 50 ping on an offline game, for example? So yeah, storage is not a problem. I got some big NVMe drives. So yeah, I think it's cool that they're doing that. And I mean, this is more of that. This is an Xbox. You know, you've got Asus doing a handheld. You've got Meta doing the VR headset because they also don't have any of their own VR stuff. Xbox, they were supposed to work with Meta to make on the Xbox One, the third Xbox, compatibility for Oculus headsets to connect, and just never kind of happened. So that's somewhere that they're missing that PlayStation actually has, even though I think they seem to be hemorrhaging money on PSVR, but they don't give it much focus anymore. Still, cool to see anyway. And if I was actually playing much VR, I'm dabbling a little bit of Beat Saber here and there. But I would be interested if they did a Quest 4 in that colour. I'd be a little bit more interested than white again.
Do you own a PlayStation VR?
No.
I've known like one person.
Hey, you owned the PS4 camera though.
Hey?
You owned the PS4 camera though.
I did. But
you're the only person I know that owned one of those.
Yeah. No, it was because at the time, the girl I was seeing, she was down somewhere, and she'd be like, "Hey, we're at a store that sells stuff that like Christchurch doesn't have. What do you want?" And she's like, "It's either between something or a PS4 camera." I was like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind a camera." Hard to use it. Sold it, actually.
Man, I buy a lot of things that I want and don't need. Look at it, you Switch too. So
yeah, but you're getting something out of it, and
I will get use out of it as well. It's just I need the games I want to play are not out just yet, and I'll get good use out of it on the flight to Thailand for my brother's wedding. Yeah. Can you believe it? I'm not Thai. His partner, also not Thai.
They're saving money. Not for you, though.
And it's costing me. Imagine if he watches this and he's like, oh man. He's like, oh. He's a great dude though. He's a great dude. I would honestly, if my other brother having a wedding in Thailand, I'd be like, kid, fuck. Oh god. Now he watches this as well. He's like, oh man.
I just want to reach out and connect. Nah, fuck this guy.
Imagine this is how I burn the bridge.
Through a podcast.
That he'll never see. Motherfucker doesn't even play games, so we're fine.
Hey.
The Decima engine, right? Death Stranding 2, people are saying, could be the best looking game out. Just, period. And I think this is really interesting, really cool, because everything's now Unreal Engine this, Unreal Engine that. Yeah, Unreal that you don't get any bitches on your dick. Yeah, look, sometimes you gotta laugh at your own jokes. Decima engine, though, because a lot of people were saying previously that Horizon Forbidden West was possibly the best looking game out, right? A lot of people were saying that this game's stunning. I actually haven't got around to it yet. I played Zero Dawn and finished it last year, or maybe earlier this year, and I did really enjoy Zero Dawn, but I was like, I ain't going into fucking Forbidden West back to back after this, because it was a long game, got the platinum. So, yeah, cool that this engine that there's only a handful of games on it, people's like, this is stunning, this looks great, the games play great. We need some engine competition, and hopefully we see more games on the Decima engine going forwards, because it's proven it's got chops. I think the other game on it would be Ghost of Tsushima, which, yeah, didn't look as sharp as Horizon, and didn't look as sharp as Death Stranding 2, which, I mean, it's out for a while, but still, cool. Good shit.
One of my mates was playing Death Stranding 2, where his mum walked in and saw the baby, and I was like, "Are you watching a movie?" And he was like, "No, no, I'm not."
That's a testament, though, to how good it's looking at. We are getting close. Like I'm a believer of, I don't really mind the graphics don't really get much better from here, because I think games look good, and I think there's art direction over graphics anyway, right? Like, I think Elden Ring looks so fucking good, even like the PS4 version, because it's just great art direction. I don't need hyper-realistic graphics. But then you see stuff like Death Stranding 2, you're like, this really does look amazing. Like, this looks fucking awesome. So, yeah, you're working some magic over there, Hideo Kojima. Keep doing what you're doing, you crazy son of a bitch. I'm hearing good things. I need to get back to Death Stranding 1. So this is going to be a reoccurring thing of every single episode, me being, I need to get back to Death Stranding 1, and then every week, did you do it? Oh, no, I was playing more roguelike deck builders.
Metal Gear's Silent wears no clothes, next to no clothes, because she breathes through her skin. And it's like, alright, Kojima, alright.
Just come out and say you're a gooner, mate.
Just
admit it. You're one of us. You're not better than us. You're one of us.
The actual in-universe reason why she doesn't wear any clothes is because she makes me personally horny.
There's a thing.
Not me.
Like, Norman Reedus looking up at the stars, and then there's just looking up, and you see this like constellation, and it becomes Hideo Kojima's face. You're like, that's wild. Only he can get away with such a thing. There is something about it. Like, if most people, if Neil Druckmann did that in The Last of Us, people would be so fucking mad. It's unreal. People would be like calling for his fucking death. Hideo Kojima do it, and it's like, oh, it's the meme of the sexual harassment versus flirting.
Yeah.
Neil Druckmann does it. People will be like, HR, Hideo Kojima does it, and it's like, oh, you're sweet. Like, actually, straight up, that's it. People say with that Last of Us 2, it was a self-insert. He wanted to be fucking that character. It's not at all. Like, people just don't like him.
He, I think I read something like, after this season of The Last of Us TV show, he's stepping away to focus on Intergalactic Or galactic.
Intergalactic, the heretic prophet. Terrible name, but
Intergalactic, planetary.
yeah, but it's. I think that's a good thing though. I think with the show, he wrote and directed. I think probably the best episode of the season. But I guess he is probably taking too much time away from Intergalactic, which is what he really needs to focus on. That should be his main priority. So, yeah. I'm interested to see what they do with season 3. I think it's going to upset a lot of people with the show because, you know, what it's going to be about. But I actually liked that in the game. You know, the game when you... I shouldn't say too much because I think people should play the game. But what they do, people were really mad about it. But then by the end, when you kind of see, you kind of get to see. I can't say without spoiling it. Okay, just play The Last of Us 2. Fuck it.
Yeah,
not you, Stephen. Not you.
I imagine there's a couple of people who wanted to watch the show, and just going in blind, just thinking it's like a zombie movie, and then get super upset about a certain scene, and the people who play the game is just like, well,
dude, there was so much of that. It was so funny. People were like, why did the people who play the game not warn us? What happens? So,
yeah.
NeoWiz has been given big bonuses to the Lies of P developers with the success of Lies of P and the Overture DLC. I called it Overdue, not Overture. I haven't played the DLC yet. I've bought it. I do want to play it, but so they've given all their staff an additional 2 weeks paid holiday,
Yo,
which is fucking awesome.
Microsoft learned something from this.
In Korea, they only get 2 weeks a year, which is it's kind of
insane.
What do we get? What do we get on average? What's ours? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? I don't know. I get an extra week because I've been in my job for 10 years. I get long service leave, which is kind of sick.
He's a vet.
Yeah, fucking. You better fucking salute me when I walk by, motherfuckers. So they get, they're getting 2 weeks paid holiday. They're getting roughly it worked out to be about 7,300 USD, just bonus on top, which the Korean won is much weaker than the US dollar, but so that works out to be actually better in their favour. So, dude, if I got a fucking, because in New Zealand dollars it'd be over 10 grand. If I got a 10 grand bonus, I'd be so fucking chuffed. It'd be unreal.
You would jump, fist bump the air, and click your heels.
Oh, dude,
sorry,
I would. And they all got Switch 2s. So,
dude,
really cool, man. They're really looking after that team. It's their first major. I think it's their first game actually. Maybe they did a remaster of another game before they did this, but yeah, awesome. Really cool stuff. Cool to see they're looking after their staff and sharing some of those profits they've made with their employees, which is awesome. That's how you fucking keep employees, because these guys are going to be like, damn, I'm going to stay on because these bonuses are wicked and keep making good shit. I tell you what, when your work looks after you, you want to work way harder. You want to do so much more. Last big pay rise I got, I tell you what, for 3 months I worked real hard.
Neo was more like, I'm getting rewarded for my hard work and effort. Gee whiz.
Gee willikers, Stephen.
Jiminy Jellicers.
So we've got a Steam sale going on. Have you bought anything? The Steam sale? Because what you should buy is The Binding of Isaac with the DLC.
Yeah. How much is that?
I think it's like $30-something right now.
When does she end?
It ends on the 10th, so you got another week.
Yeah, I do. I don't want to. I mean, it sounds a little bit dumb, to get a game for the sake of the sale, but yeah, Binding of Isaac sounds. I mean, it was fun when we played it.
Yeah, because we want to stream it sometime, and it's better to stream it if we actually have the proper game and the proper multiplayer. We're doing the couch co-op mode is a bit different. We did it through Parsec, Shout out Parsec, please sponsor us. Parsec, please, I've gassed you up for years.
Listen to me, Parsec.
So, I'll tell you a few games I bought. Because, why not? So, I bought... What's that? Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Not like this. Hell Pie. Not Cream Pie. So, Hell Pie is a 3D platformer. I haven't played this yet. I bought Planet of Lana. A little 2D... I guess you'd consider it a platformer. Little 2D platformer that similar to the likes of Inside. The trailer for the second one looked quite cool. Well, they always run. It's on your wish list. I can't remember what this game is, but I think it was a 2D platformer kind of deal as well, and it looked cool. I think this was this Planet of Lana. Yeah. I can't remember, but it looked cool. Alright, scrolling across. What Grapple Dog. So I was listening to a podcast a while back, also a 2D platformer. There's a theme here. These games also went real cheap. So it's a little 2D platformer. You're a little dog. You got a little grapple gun. You're just grappling around. It's a good platforming time. Once again, White Shadows 2D platformer. What a fucking surprise. Similar to like the likes of Planet of Lana. Power Chord. So this is, I guess, where I'll start talking about what I'm playing as well, because why not? Yeah, I'll go over that briefly. Alright, Power Chord is a roguelike deck builder. To be honest, if you have played Slay the Spire, it is just another kind of version of Slay the Spire. I think Slay the Spire is probably better, but everyone on your team is a band member, so the drummer is kind of like your team's tank and has a lot of defensive stuff. Then you've got the bassist, who has a lot of like utility stuff and might be like poison and corrosion and stuff that can like eat away at the enemy's armor, and corrosion does armor, poison does health, and to status enemies. So then you've got your guitarist, and the guitarist is your like high like DPS. So they just are unleashing damage. A lot of stuff to do. They can help to do like self damage to then deal more damage to opponents. And then your frontman or the singer has some utility and some debuffs for enemies, but has heals and things like that. So you're going through, you're building a deck, and everyone has, I think, 5 item slots. They all start with an item, so then they've got 4 additional slots that you can, when you find an item, go, oh, I'm going to put it on this enemy or this one, and it's like when they kill someone, you get an extra energy to play more cards. And because you've got the combined nature of all these different band members, you're trying to find the synergies between all these cards. And yeah, so it's, like I say, if you played Slay the Spire, pretty similar type of game. You're picking on a grid where you're going to go, and then you slowly get through, kill bosses. And I've put, how much time into it? I put 7.5 hours so far. I'm enjoying it. It's been a nice chill game when I've been on call for work. And the last game I bought so far, Pacman World Repack. So this is a 3D platformer, Pacman, that I've just been playing. I haven't played too much of yet. I've done 43 minutes. So I've played 3 levels, and this game's pretty good, man. It's actually pretty good.
It has charm.
Yeah. And visually, I like it as well. Like, it's got a nice style to it. So you're running around, you're being Pac-Man, you're collecting your little balls. Yeah,
pellets.
Getting the what?
I think they're pellets.
Pellets. Why would a pack eat pellets? That doesn't even make sense.
Carry on.
Putting balls in your mouth, getting the big ball, getting the ghosts. You've got an attack where you can curl up and then do like a roll and bash into things. It's cool. You've got if you jump and then jump again, you've got a butt slam. You've got a little kind of hold the X button, you hover in the air for a little bit, and then you're getting the fruit. The fruit will then unlock little doors around the place, so then you can get more collectibles and stuff. And then at the end, there's a gambling mini game. Woo! But if you get all the secrets as well, there's like secret levels and bonus levels and stuff. it's just a really good, like, old school 3D platformer. It's
With new gen polish.
yeah, because when did Pac-Man World originally come out? Like,
I know it was a PlayStation 1 title because I used to jam the shit out of the demo when I was a kid.
yeah, 1999. It's actually like when you consider when it came out, it's actually like a really, really good like kind of 3D platform of that era, and I guess it got overshadowed by Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. I mean, saying 3D platformer probably slightly dishonest. It's kind of like Crash Bandicoot is 3D, but it's more 2D. You know, if you know what I mean. Like you are in a 3D space, but overall the levels are a lot more linear. I kind of like that.
2.5D.
2.5D is more of an art style thing. The 2D game with a 3D art style. But yeah, I must say so far I like it a lot. It's very good. It's like I said, closer to Crash Bandicoot than the likes of Spyro. So
Been
yeah,
meaning to pick it up.
yeah, it's like $10 right now, so
Jeez!
I'd recommend it. I've got other games to talk about, but there's one more thing I want to talk about before we get to that completely. There's a Blood of the Dawnwalker game overview. So I should have swapped these around. Should have done the Steam sale thing after, but you know, I'm not a professional. Fuck off. I'm not getting defensive, you're getting defensive. So I just want to note, it looked a lot like The Witcher. Sword combat looks like kind of like Dishonored. Not Dishonored. I fucked that up. For Honor. Actually, you know what? Ubisoft is coming up. I liked For Honor. I did like For Honor. I didn't play a heap of it. It's kind of a rock, paper, scissors kind of deal, right? With if they go high, you block high kind of deal. That's how the sword combat is in this. Which I think people were saying is similar to Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I haven't played. And there was, directional blocking and swinging. Combat abilities. There's other monsters and stuff that come out at night when you get your vampire powers, because you're a Dawnwalker. And it looks like there's lots of choices in the game. But this game looks really good. I didn't get around to The Witcher until too late, and then I just ended up playing Gwent, so it's on me. But very much you see that Witcher DNA coming through, and it looks really cool. So I want to see more. I think this game's going to do well. Have you had a peak, mate? Does this pique your interest?
I've only heard of it in passing, and I'm pretty sure it was at one of the announcements for, was it Summer Games or
I think Summer Game Fest. I think it was Summer Game Fest, maybe in the Xbox showcase, but
the problem is whenever I see it, like I'll be scrolling my phone and I get a mention, my dumb brain just thinks, "Oh, this is a Final Fantasy 14 expansion." This is like, I'm not interested.
I don't even think it looks anything like Final Fantasy 14.
No, but no. Like in name, like it sounds like it'd be
Dawnwalker. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
they had something named something similar.
Yeah. So I think I should do my service and actually give it a proper look into.
Dawn Trail was the Final Fantasy one.
There we go.
That makes
but
sense.
Hey man, there were times where I watched a mate, and I think I played like a little bit of For Honor. It was cool.
Yeah. This may be one of the rare times where I only had a positive thing to say about Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I'd say it's character development, but it's not. Next week, I tell you what, I'm coming back with some fucking ammo. I'm digging in fucking deep. I guess it was a little bit when talking about the development hell of Beyond Good and Evil 2, but we didn't really slag them off. We just kind of said, man, I don't know, put the game out.
What are you doing? Yeah.
What's going on?
What's going on, big guy?
So, yeah, I'm interested, but I need a little more to be sold, I think. So, what I've been playing, other than the ones I said before, I went back to Expedition 33. So it's been a while. Alex was getting towards the end of the game, and I'm like,
Hey yo!
damn, I gotta clean up. I gotta clean up the fucking post game. So I was going through and I was beating the bosses, and then I was like, cool, alright, I've cleared most things up. I'll try fight Simon again. Get my fucking shit wrecked. I'm like, God damn. I was like, fucking hell. I was going to bed that night being like, I don't think I can beat this. I was like, I don't think I'm good enough. I just think I'm not good enough at this game. What the fuck? The next day I'm watching UFC and I found a good spot to grind. I missed it. I don't grind in video games. I say this all the fucking time. I'm like, nah, I'm going to fucking figure out a way to do this without grinding. I'm going to brute force this. I'll figure a strategy out, right? I was like, I'm not good enough to do this. I'm going to fucking grind. And because I like the combat, so I was watching UFC and I was just grinding out some levels, so it was fine. It wasn't too bad. I was like, I got to get the achievement to get to max level anyway, so I hit 99, swap out the other characters, hit 99. I'm just leveling up all my pictos that I've got as well, so they can be used on anyone. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, why not, right? Then I go fight Simon again, get my shit wrecked again. I'm like, I'm max level, bro, what the fuck? So I decide I have to really like think about my build now and what the fuck is wrong with it, and focus on more single target damage because he's only one man, and just do that. I find a strategy that every character, so there's a picto called Cheetah, which will let you go twice in a turn, like gives you twice back to back. So every character I put Cheetah on, every character I put when they get down, they'll resurrect once. And then I found one that was when someone dies, they max out the break on the enemy. So I get downed, dude comes back, they're one hit away from break, I break them, beat their ass, and then they knock someone else down, break them again, and then it still took me getting to the final part of the fight. It was my 4th attempt. The final phase, he's doing some wild shit, and without giving too much away, there's differences in the attacks from the different phases, and you don't know that the attacks are changing. So you're like, oh, okay, I've blocked this attack before, and then he starts doing it, and then you are not parrying right because the attack's changed. So you get my shit wrecked. And eventually I learn it, and by the 4th, so overall it wasn't my 4th attempt, I had more than that, but 4th attempt on the final phase, I got him. And I felt so fucking good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we got him.
You got him.
So I had to then get the other achievements. I needed a couple more vinyls, so I did those. I was missing one gestural, so got that. Yeah, and my final achievement was fighting that mime right at the start of the game that I missed, right in the fucking prologue. It's the final achievement I had to get. So I'm really, really glad that I went back and did this because it felt amazing to do. The music fighting Simon is fucking excellent. It is visually it is an awesome fight. Doing it is a fucking cunt. I've finished so many Souls-likes, and this is harder. This is probably harder than any boss in Dark Souls 3.
Damn.
Like, any boss at all. Like, probably harder than any boss in Dark Souls 1. 2, you've got Dark Lurker. That boss fight can suck my nuts. But I've done it. Took me a while. But I didn't just look up a cheese strat or anything. There are strategies where it's like, use my L to deal 5 billion damage and beat his ass. You're like, oh, okay. But I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to figure a way out to do it. If I kept getting my ass beat, yeah, I would have fucking caved and done it. But, just
hell yeah.
Great game. Still my game of the year. Well, we're going to probably have two game of the year awards in different ways because we've talked about this. Because the other game I've been playing is Elden Ring Night Rain, but I've talked enough about that. They're releasing these super bosses. The bosses I've already put out, but on fucking crack. So they have them out for a limited time. So I've beaten 2 of those. 3rd one just dropped today, so I'll be playing that tomorrow night with the boys. So that'll be well. It could be a bad time. Who the fuck knows with these bosses? But I'm liking that. I wish they would just put the bosses in there and just leave them in, but they put them on a rotation. And there's a new item store that gives you a currency specifically for the store, and so stuff like that. But I'm still loving it. I haven't played much this week because I've been playing Expedition 33, but I was also on call, so I don't want to lock myself into a 45-minute game of something. Because, I got to be calling people back sooner than that. So Night Rain, I've got 68.3 hours in it. So, been doing pretty good. So, that's what I've been playing. What about you, mate? What have you been up to?
Well, my game, Street Fighter 6. My game leads into our Smashville Game Pass.
Oh.
Yeah. So, started off, my Smashville Game Pass game is Ninja Gaiden Black 2. It was, as I said to Lewis before the pod, I remember when it came to Game Pass, on my old computer, I installed it immediately, and my computer couldn't handle it, and I was seeing red. I was hearing nothing but like a little tinny screeching in my ear, and I'm just like, I'm mad, because this means I'm not going to be able to play Ninja Gaiden 4, which I'm excited for. But fast track to now. It's good. It does play like a lot like Sigma with a real good can of paint on it. Blood. Just because I've been a little bit rusty and haven't dabbled, it's been a while since I dabbled Sigma 2. It's hard. But also, I forget that you can tap RB and any direction, and you're basically doing a quick shimmy dash while they're mid-combo. But it's fun. It's real cool seeing like the old locales and places like that, and better graphics and stuff. I'm enjoying it.
Wicked.
Yep.
I wanted to play. I've still got it installed, but I don't know if I'm going to get around to Ninja Gaiden Black 2. It's still a smash from me as well. But there's so many games to play, man. I just don't know if I'm gonna have the time. For my Crash or Game Pass,
Ooh.
Crash 4.
Witty.
So, I have played through this before. I've finished the game. I haven't 100%ed it because it's a fucking nightmare to 100%. Holy shit. They took some of the wrong lessons from Crash. Overall, the game is really good. It is actually a really good Crash game. Also, I love the sub-name, Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. It's time travel, but also, about fucking time we got a new Crash. Toys for Bob did a fucking great job with this, but there's so many, like, annoying little things with, like, they would make, random hidden boxes off-screen really fucking difficult to find. So, Crash had some hard gems in it, because some of them were like a skill issue, some things were a little hidden. They hid things way too fucking well in this game, and it's just a pain in the ass. But overall, if you're not playing for that 100%, just playing for a playthrough, it's a lot of fun. It is really good. It's a tight platformer. It looks great as well. It feels like the first time in a long time the Crash Bandicoot aesthetic has been nailed again, because they got it wrong for a long time. To be honest, they got it wrong ever since it was sold by I can't remember. I think Sony owned it, so it was done by Naughty Dog originally, but I think Sony owned the rights and they sold it to Activision, and I think ever since Activision owned it, they could not get any of it looking quite right, really, and they nailed it with this. Toys for Bob, I think they were part of the acquisition Xbox, and they were like, look, we don't want to be under this, can we go out on our own? And they've said yes, so they're their own thing, I believe. Oh, is that them? I don't want to be given misinformation. One of the studios got closed down or folded into folded into like a Call of Duty like development team, and you're like, why would you fucking do this? They are the one that went out on their own. Okay, great, thank God, because we need this. They are still working on a they did so I think I might have mixed it up more. They did end up getting put on Call of Duty support. They worked on Warzone, they worked on Modern Warfare 2, they worked on Crash Team Rumble, they did Modern Warfare 3, but now they work on an untitled Xbox Studios game, but independently. I want them to put out maybe that, because they're working on an Xbox game. What if they're doing a new Banjo-Kazooie? That'd be fucking awesome. That's the team to do it. If anyone's going to do it, let them do it, because I think they'd cook. No. Yep.
Hell yeah.
So I've got a wee Steam review for you from Pacman World Repack. Graphics, waka waka. Gameplay, waka waka. Audio, you guessed it, waka waka. Audience, waka waka. PC requirements, waka waka. Difficulty, waka waka. Story, waka waka. Game time, waka waka. Price, waka waka. Bugs, waka waka. Waka 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 out of 10, waka waka. Pacman death sound. So I'm a piece of shit and forgot to say who made that review. So fuck me. I normally shout him out, but I forgot. So I'm gonna find that while Stephen reads out his review.
Mine is the Steam review for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. It's from Numb Me, and it says, looking for a new game, ask Koi if their game is good or Sigma. They don't understand. Pull out illustrated diagram explaining what is good and what is Sigma. They laugh and say, it's Ninja Gaiden 2, sir. Buy the game, it's Sigma.
You're so Sigma.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gave that Steam review as well. Now, I found it. I've given him an award, which was Deep Thoughts, which is a little brain doing a little scuba diving. I just thought with Deep Thoughts is the best one for that, for saying waka waka fucking 50 times. So this was from Keita, Keitta. Thank you very much for your review, mate. It made me laugh. Very, very silly review. One thing I wanted to address was last time Scriptlet said about, we were talking about asset flips, and I think he's right. I do think we used asset flip technically wrong. He said, I thought asset flips were selling the pre-made game packs that were on the Unity store or Unreal store that was supposed to be a foundation that you built upon as full titles. I think the effort of remixing and building another game around your same bosses is way more effort than traditional asset flip. And I think he's right. I don't think it's an asset flip, but it was. I know it's like they're flipping their own assets, but what he's saying is, the historical definition of an asset flip is a game that you use all the store-bought assets and you try to do as little as possible yourself and just fucking, here are all the assets, make game, here you go, charge $10, buy game. So he's right. It's not an asset flip, but it's something, I don't know what would call it. It's just really good reuse of assets, like existing assets that you own. Asset recycling, yeah. And ultimately, what we've said, you love RGG, I love From Software. They're two of the best in the business at this.
Yeah.
And for us, it's nice when you see, oh, here's that building, or here's that thing I recognise. For me, I'm like, oh yeah, it's the fucking Claymore that I used in Dark Souls 1. And the weapon set's really similar. It's like a comforting thing. I think it's really fucking cool, personally. I'm not worried about Kratos jumping in the boat the same way, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I know that's the example because everyone was whinging about it. Or Aloy goes down the zipline the same way. Who fucking cares, bro? It's good. It's actually good. They can actually spend more time making the game than having to make brand new, slightly different assets for everything.
I guess it's a little bit different than, say, I remember when Devil May Cry 4 came out, one of the problems was you go through half the game as Nero, but when you get up to playing as Dante, a lot of his levels are just Nero's levels, but you're starting from the exit and working your way back.
Oh, yeah.
Frugal! They described it as frugal.
Yeah, frugal game design. Yeah, it is interesting that it's something interesting as well, actually, about, because I thought Final Fantasy 16, I was like, I got pretty bored of the gameplay and stuff after a while. People were like, how can you be bored? It's Devil May Cry gameplay. You're like, yeah, but what's great about Devil May Cry is that shit's like 10 hours, not like 60 hours. You don't have enough time to get sick of the combat. Also,
it doesn't take itself seriously.
It doesn't take itself seriously, and it had so many characters that all played completely differently. So you kept switching between them. Very hard to get sick of it. Like I say, I remember so little about Devil May Cry 5. Is that the most recent one?
Yes.
I remember so little about that game, but I had a good time playing it. But you asked me, what happened to the story? I don't know. Fucking Dante and Virgil had a fucking little biffo, like they do every fucking game. I don't remember anything, but the only one I didn't like with the combat, I didn't like V that much. I thought V was kind of boring, but everyone else was great. I never played Virgil. Didn't go back to it.
But it's his game.
Well, best Virgil game. Yeah, it was. It was a video game. So yeah, I know. Some people were like, so many people. I couldn't believe when I was like, man, I can't believe everyone was saying Final Fantasy 16 was so fucking good. I was like, I'm an outlier here. I thought it was all visuals, right? It was no substance. It was all just visuals, right? It was a visual spectacle. Like, people were like, oh, but the boss fights are so epic, and they're like, yeah, they look epic. They look amazing. Playing them was fucking boring, and that's a sin I cannot forgive. No, it's not. I didn't hate the game. I just thought it was okay. I just thought it was a little bit overhyped. Yeah. So, like I said, Devil May Cry combat, I don't think holds up for 60 hours, but 10 to 20, probably about right. So, anything you want to say before we wrap this bitch up?
No. I think we covered some good ground today.
I realized what I wanted to say for the intro, but I forgot what I originally had in my head. And I remembered like an hour in, and I was thinking, fuck. It would be like introducing a man who comes with 2 monitors.
Yeah. Living that life now.
Would have been the good one, mate. Dude, you'll be able to see what Mulrich's saying when we're streaming.
I know.
Actually, kind of exciting.
I read my Steam review on the other monitor.
No, that rules.
I can still look at your face.
Hey, my monitors are big, so I'd have to like, if I was using both monitors, I'd be going too far back and forth. So I've got to like section off my monitor. Now I still want one day to get 3 27 inches, and then that will, I think, be better, because I can only fit 2 32s on here, which I've got at the moment. So in my future, I definitely want the 3 27s, and then I can make better use of my space, I think. So
hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Listen to the nonsense. Go to bosscut.nz, check the stream out, or rekt_tech, REKT_TEK at Twitch. Follow my Twitter. I don't normally plug this shit, but fuck it. It's rektech, one word, REKTTEK. It's I'm gonna read you out my a recent 0 like banger that I think's funny. Clearly nobody else gave a fuck, but look, it's a actually Mulrich did comment on it though. All right, here it is. Give your lawnmower high octane fuel as a little treat. I thought, because I was filling up my little fuel can, and the car was getting 95, and I was like, you know what? Lawnmower's getting 95 today, mate. A little premium fuel. Never hurt no lawnmower. Mulrich said though he wouldn't do that because he borrows his neighbour's one that's electric. I said give it a little drink anyway, you know.
Little sip.
If you're thirsty, mate, your lawnmower's thirsty. Give it a sip. That's what
I will have something next week, or next time we do the pod. I'll have something to plug, social wise. So watch the space.
Do we get a little hint? Just a wee
Nope.
hint. Don't give it away. No.
No,
All right. Fuck.
not at all.
All right. Fuck me, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Cunts. The saltiest outro. All right. Have good. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.